Primary night is here, and the results are rolling in.
Voters in Minnesota and Wisconsin have spoken. The WCCO team is tracking tonight's decisions about who will face off against each other in the November election.
So let's get right to some results. First up, one of the biggest battles of the night, Minnesota's 5th congressional district. Democrat Ilhan Omar narrowly held off challenger Don Samuels. Samuels conceded the race within just the past half hour. Omar will now face off against Republican Cicely Davis. Davis held off 2 challengers this evening. Our Caroline Cummings spent time with both Democratic candidates tonight. She's live in Minneapolis. Boy, this was really, I think, closer than people expected, Caroline.
Oh, it really was, Frank. And Don Samuel says he conceded after looking at the numbers about half an hour ago and realizing there was just not enough votes there to close the gap. And he called it a Goliath of a challenge, but acknowledged how close he really got. And while he may not be going to Congress next year, he says he's going to stay in the district, keep fighting for the people who live here, remain in his North Minneapolis home he's called home for over 2 decades, and says that this race serves as a lesson for Ilhan Omar about where a lot of people in her district stand.
And to come this close means that we have our finger on the pulse of the exhausted majority.
Now, we ended up catching up with Congresswoman Ilhan Omar earlier tonight. She did not have a public watch party, but instead rallied with supporters in Dinkytown. And she says that she said earlier that if she won tonight, that she would be focusing on the November election in this deep blue district to elect other Democrats in November in Minnesota.
The 5th is going to be fine. Our job is going to be to get the vote out. To help our Attorney General, Keith Ellison, who was just here, and all of our statewide seats. The 5th is the voter engine that keeps our state blue, and we look forward to doing that work.
And that voter engine in this district looking to go to Ilhan Omar tonight. The campaign said that we won't hear from her directly, but we will get a statement from her via the campaign when all of the results are in after tonight's really interesting race. Frank.
Yeah, very well. It would be interesting to talk to her and see what she has to say. Thank you, Caroline.
Thousands of voters in southern Minnesota had doubled the decisions on this primary day. District 1 is having a special election to decide who will serve the remainder of Republican Jim Hagedorn's term. Hagedorn died in February. He had represented the district since 2019. Republican Brad Finstad and Democrat Jeff Ettinger are racing for that spot. It's still early. You can see Brad Finstad there with 59% of the vote, just 13% reporting, though. Whoever wins will only serve for 5 months unless they win again this November. It looks like both will get a chance to do that. Finstad has 77% of the votes. That's 51% reporting against Jeremy Munson. In tonight's Republican primary, Finstad has declared victory tonight. And then we have Ettinger will be the Democratic candidate. That race was just called. Jonah Kaplan talked with some District 1 voters who had a lot on their plate tonight. He is live in LeSueur for us tonight. Jonah? Okay, and Jonah, we're going to check back in with him in just a little bit.
Yeah, another primary we've been keeping a close eye on this evening is the race for Attorney General. And this is one with one endorsed Republican that was facing off and one Republican that entered the race without an endorsement, and that is with Jim Schultz and Doug Wardlow. And right now, with 57% of the precincts reporting, Jim Schultz is 20 points ahead of Doug Wardlow. Whichever candidate wins this will go against, of course, incumbent Democrat Keith Ellison in the November election, who was no problem getting the votes this evening. Well, other happenings, Minnesota's most populated county is choosing a new sheriff. DFL endorsed Dewana Witt, has the lead at this point. If elected, she would be the first sheriff of color to lead Hennepin County. With 99% reporting, she has a comfortable lead over Joseph Banks. This is Dave Hutchinson, the current sheriff. He announced he would not run for re-election after he pleaded guilty to drunk driving in a December crash near Alexandria.
A showdown between former President Trump and former Vice President Pence in the race for Wisconsin governor. They are not on the ballot, but Trump endorsed Tim Michels and Pence endorsed Rebecca Clayfish. Let's take a look at those results here. It looks like Tim Michels with a little bit of an edge at 63% reporting, but it is still close there. The Republican nominee will face off against Democratic Governor Tony Evers this fall.
Let's get back now to Jonah Kaplan talking about that District 1 voters where they had a lot on their plate tonight. Jonah, I know you have a lot to explain, not just one election, but two.
Well, Frank and Aaron, as many people are now choosing who their candidate is going to be on the ballot in November, here voters actually got a chance to send someone to Washington right now. You mentioned the former congressman, the late congressman who died in February. Someone has to finish that term because 5 months is still a long time for a lot of folks here not to have representation in Washington. So what does it mean to voters? What can they expect in the next 4 or 5 months? Actually, they say there's a lot. They want to see that whoever is going to win, and it appears that Finstad is going to be the guy, can he prove that he deserves a full term, and that he'll be up for election again in about 90 days.
It's a bureaucracy. You have to fight it and work with it and do all kinds of things to make it work. So 4 or 5 months of experience before the next term could be a big help.
I want to see some progress in a person's ability to do what we want them to do, or to what the voters want them to do, and not just a follow the crowd agenda.
And what's interesting here in Le Sueur specifically is they had this first congressional seat in this race today, but coming up in November, they're going to be voting again, but they're going to be in a different district because of redistricting. So we had the former lines that were used for the last 10 years, but of course, because of the census, we redid them. And now come November, we have a new Congress and maps for the next 10 years. Voters very confused about that and kind of frustrated too. They hope that those candidates in the 2nd Congressional District, they're going to remember that Le Sueur is now part of that as well.
There is a lot to sort
Yeah,
through.
thanks for help clearing it up, Jonah. There's a lot going on for sure. Thank you.
And luckily for us, we do have some pretty great analysts here to help us. We threw a lot at you just now, but we have a team here to help us sort through it.
Yeah, Esme, introduce your folks, and we're very curious to hear their reactions.
All right, well, we've got Democratic strategist Abu Amara and Republican strategist Amy Koch. And Frank and Aaron, we have all decided there is a theme to tonight's results so far: the rise of the moderates, or as Amy Koch put it earlier, the rise of the normals. I'll take you to Abu first. The 5th District, remarkable.
Yeah, I think it comes down to two things. First, it's that public safety continues to be an issue. Don Samuels was fueled out of public safety being a top issue on voters' minds. And then the second thing is really about some key votes that Congresswoman Omar took in Congress that really galvanized some folks to turn out today, whether that be a vote of banning Russian oil, whether that be the vote of the Armenian community. There were some key votes that really agitated the community, and I think a combination of those two things almost got Don Samuels over the top.
Awfully close. All right, Amy Koch. On the Republican side, you're talking about the rise of the moderates, or it looks that way because these races are not yet settled, but some people who are far to the right look like they're going to lose tonight.
Yeah, I say it's more a rise of the folks that are tired of the extreme rhetoric, they're tired of the mean rhetoric, they're tired of Republicans tearing down other Republicans just to gain power. And so what you're seeing is Brad Finstad coming out over Jeremy Munson. It looks like Jim Schultz is doing much better, probably will win over Doug Wardlow. And even in the state Senate races, things like Senator Eric Pratt, Senator Utke are winning out over these sort of insurgent, hyperbolic rhetoric candidates, and I think it's a good thing.
And we've all decided that the line of the night goes to Don Samuels, who said at one point in his concession, "We have our finger on the pulse of the exhausted majority." That's the theme for tonight. Frank and Aaron, back to you.
Yeah, either that or what you said earlier was that the return of the normals.
There you go.
Interesting. All right. Thanks to you three.